The Baltimore Ravens and the New Orleans Saints have decided to throw a bomb into the league. Both franchises offering Shedeur Sanders, the kid who hasn't even played a full season in Cleveland, a jaw-dropping $275 million deal.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
Baltimore's pitch is pure innovation. Imagine Lamar Jackson and Shedeur Sanders on the same team. A dual quarterback system, something the NFL has toyed with but never truly committed to. Baltimore's basically saying, why not build the most dangerous offensive blueprint in football history? One that defenses literally can't plan for. Lamar on one side, Shedeur on the other, both weapons in different ways. That's not just a strategy. That's a revolution. New Orleans, though, their pitch isn't about schemes. It's about soul. They're telling Shedeur, come here and be a savior. Be the face of a franchise that's been searching for an identity since Drew Brees retired. Don't just play football. Become part of a culture of New Orleans. Legacy, leadership, permanence. They're not selling plays. They're selling immortality. So you got one team offering innovation, another offering legacy, and both offering a mountain of cash. And Cleveland? Sitting there looking like the kid who didn't study for the test, watching everyone else ace it. Now here's where the drama goes nuclear. Cleveland didn't see this coming. The Browns thought they had time. They thought they could roll into the season, show Shedeur they were building around him, slowly work their way into a long-term deal. But they underestimated two things: the instability of their own house and the ruthlessness of the NFL's biggest sharks. Baltimore and New Orleans smelled blood. They saw Cleveland wobbling, the front office disorganized, the cap space a mess, the team culture shaky at best. And they pounced. Because here's the truth, this isn't just about money. This is about stability. Players in today's league don't just want fat checks. They want vision. They want consistency. They want to know they're stepping into an organization that can protect their future and build a dynasty around them. And Cleveland? That's never been their strength. The media, of course, is having a field day. Sports talk shows are running fiery debates every hour. Some analysts are calling Sanders the NFL's first billion-dollar brand. Others are grilling the Browns for letting it get this far. Twitter's melting down with memes. Browns fans are staging protests outside the stadium, begging ownership to do whatever it takes to keep him. Meanwhile, rival fans are cracking jokes. The Browns finally found their savior, and he's already packing his bags. It's cruel, but it's also the story of Cleveland football. A story of almost collapses and heartbreaks. And now, the heartbreak might come in the form of watching the brightest young star in football get whisked away before his career in Cleveland even begins. Here's the wild part. Shedeur holds all the cards. Think about the leverage here. He's young. He's already proven he can sell out stadiums and move $100 million worth of merchant hours. He's more than a player. He's a brand. And now, he has two powerhouse franchises openly telling him, you don't need to stay where you are. Come here. We'll build everything around you. It's like being the star of a blockbuster movie, and suddenly Spielberg and Scorsese are both calling your phone. Do you stay with the indie director who's still figuring out his script? Or do you leap to Hollywood? That's the decision Shedeur faces. Let's dig into what each option means. If he stays in Cleveland, he becomes the man who tried to resurrect one of the most cursed franchises in NFL history. If he succeeds, his legacy isn't just greatness, it's mythology. He'd be the quarterback who finally broke the cycle, who gave Cleveland fans hope after decades of despair. But the risks? Immense. The Browns' instability could drag him down. And if he fails, he risks being remembered as just another star swallowed by the Cleveland curse. If he goes to Baltimore, he steps into innovation. He and Lamar Jackson could create something the NFL has literally never seen. The downside? Sharing the spotlight. Lamar's already a franchise face, and Baltimore will always be Lamar's city first. Shedeur could revolutionize the game, but would he ever fully own it? If he goes to New Orleans, He walks into a city hungry for its next hero. He becomes the cultural centerpiece, the new heartbeat of the Saints. He'd have the city's soul on his shoulders. But with that comes expectation. If he doesn't deliver, he won't just disappoint a team. He'll disappoint an entire culture. 3 paths. 3 legacies. No easy choice. But let's not miss the league-wide stakes here. If either Baltimore or New Orleans pulls this off, they don't just get Shedeur, they change the rules of quarterback contracts forever. Because once one rookie pulls a $275 million blockbuster, every other young star is going to demand the same. This isn't just a negotiation. It's a Pandora's box. Owners are panicking. Smaller market teams are terrified. The league office is already whispering about tampering, salary cap implications, and whether they need to step in. Because this isn't just a Shedeur Sanders issue. It's a power shift that could alter how the NFL operates for decades. And Cleveland? They're standing at ground zero of the blast. Fans feel it too. This isn't just about losing a player. It's about losing an identity. Cleveland has suffered through heartbreak for generations. To finally land a superstar quarterback with global appeal, only to watch him leave before his story begins? That's more than disappointment. That's trauma. And you can hear it in the streets, in the chants outside the stadium, in the outrage flooding talk radio. For fans, this isn't business. It's personal. Here's the kicker, though, no matter what happens, Shedeur Sanders has already changed the NFL. He's proven that rookies aren't just rookies anymore. They're brands. They're movements. They're billion-dollar assets before they even step fully into the league. And now, every young player is watching closely, taking notes. Every franchise is reevaluating its strategy. Every fan is realizing the future of football isn't just decided on the field. It's decided in boardrooms, contract offers, and cultural influence. So what happens next? Does Cleveland pull a miracle, dig deep, and convince Shedeur to stay? Do they finally prove they can build stability around a superstar? Or does Shedeur take one of these revolutionary offers and become a player who reshaped the league before his rookie deal even expired? Either way, this isn't just a sports story anymore. This is history. What do you think? Should Shedeur Sanders stay loyal to Cleveland and try to rewrite their cursed history? Or should he chase stability and legacy in Baltimore or New Orleans? Drop your take in the comments, because this is one of those crossroads moments we'll be talking about for years. And if you want to stay locked in on every twist, every meltdown, every earth-shaking decision shaking up sports and culture, hit that subscribe button. Because this Shedeur Sanders saga, it's not just about football. It's about the future of the entire NFL. And the next move is going to change everything. The Browns know the truth. If Shedeur walks, it's not just about losing a quarterback. It's about losing the one player who's made Cleveland relevant, the one name that's kept fans invested, the one star who actually made people believe the franchise's cursed history might finally turn around. Losing him isn't just a setback. It's humiliation. Meanwhile, Baltimore and New Orleans aren't just waiting around. They're rolling out red carpets. Baltimore's pitch has already gone viral. Imagine Lamar Jackson lined up next to Shedeur Sanders, the two most electric quarterbacks in football sharing the same field, rewriting offensive playbooks forever. The Ravens are painting it as a revolution, a once-in-a-lifetime chance to blow up the norms and force defenses to live in permanent nightmares. And New Orleans? Their pitch is more emotional. They've got brass bands warming up in the French Quarter, murals mocked up with Shedeur's face plastered alongside Drew Brees, and speeches prepared about how he can step into a legacy role bigger than football. They're promising not just money, but immortality. How do you fight against that when all you have to offer is Cleveland? And here's the worst part for the Browns. Fans smell the desperation. They see the chaos. They hear the rumors about disorganization inside the building. They know how fragile this franchise has always been. And now, with Sanders' future on the line, fans are rioting in spirit, if not in body. Talk radio is on fire. Callers are demanding ownership, sell the team. Protesters are camped outside the facility, holding signs that read, "Keep Shedeur at any cost." For once, Cleveland fans aren't just sad. They're angry. And anger burns hotter than despair. But let's talk about Shedeur himself, because all this pressure, all this chaos, it revolves around him. And yet, he seems untouchable. He hasn't rushed to reassure Cleveland fans. He hasn't hinted at which way he's leaning. Instead, he's playing it cool, letting the media circus spin itself into exhaustion. Every time reporters try to corner him, he shrugs it off. Calm, composed, almost surgical. That's power. When the entire league is on fire, and you're standing in the middle of it looking unbothered, you control the narrative. Shedeur knows it. He's milking it. And honestly, he's earned the right. Because here's the thing. Shedeur Sanders isn't just a quarterback. He's a phenomenon. His brand sells merchandise like sneakers. His name moves stock prices. His Instagram post generates more engagement than some franchises get all season. And that's the nightmare for Cleveland. Because how do you compete with that? How do you hold on to a player whose influence stretches beyond football, beyond cities, beyond your very franchise? The old rules don't apply anymore. Let's talk money, because the financials here are as shocking as the drama. $275 million for a rookie, with record guarantees. This isn't just shattering norms, it's obliterating them. Rookie deals used to be stepping stones, trial runs, little taste test contracts before the real payday years later. But Shedeur's marketability and brand power have flipped the script. He's not being valued as a rookie. He's being valued as a global superstar. That's terrifying for owners. Because if Shedeur pulls this off, you think Caleb Williams or Drake May or any other high-profile rookie is going to settle for peanuts. No. Every top prospect is going to demand Shedeur-level money. And suddenly the entire economic structure of the NFL collapses under the weight of superstar leverage. That's why executives across the league are glued to this saga. They're not just watching for gossip, they're watching for precedent. And here's where Cleveland's problem gets even uglier. Their history. This isn't the Patriots trying to hold on to Brady. This isn't the Chiefs locking down Mahomes. This is the Browns, the team whose name has become synonymous with dysfunction, blown draft picks, and cursed quarterbacks. So when Baltimore or New Orleans comes knocking, promising stability, innovation, or cultural immortality, Shedeur has to weigh that against Cleveland's baggage. And let's be real, that's not a fair fight. But let's not act like this is just a business decision. This is emotional, too. For Baltimore, it's about revolution. They're telling Shedeur, be part of history. Create an offense nobody has ever seen. For New Orleans, it's about culture. They're telling him, be the heartbeat of our city. Carry our soul on your shoulders. For Cleveland, it's about survival. Their pitch isn't romantic. It's desperate. Please don't leave us. We can't survive without you. 3 very different offers. 3 very different futures. And Shedeur gets to choose. Meanwhile, the media's spinning this like it's Shakespeare. You've got debates over loyalty versus legacy, stability versus risk, innovation versus immortality. Sports talk hosts are practically foaming at the mouth, arguing whether Shedeur's decision could reshape the NFL as we know it. And maybe it will. Because no matter what he chooses, history gets written. If he stays in Cleveland and succeeds, he becomes a myth, the man who broke the curse. If he leaves, he becomes the symbol of a new era where players, not teams, control the league. Either way, this saga doesn't end with just a contract. It ends with a legacy. And here's the haunting thought for Browns fans. Shedeur's silence might already be the answer. If he were locked in with Cleveland, wouldn't he have said it by now? Wouldn't he have reassured the city that he's here for the long haul? The fact that he hasn't, that he's letting the speculation swirl, feels like writing on the wall. And if that writing becomes reality, if Shedeur Sanders walks out of Cleveland for Baltimore or New Orleans, the Browns don't just lose a quarterback. They lose their hope. They lose their identity. They lose the one player who made them matter. So here we are, Cleveland panicking, Baltimore scheming, New Orleans serenading, the league holding its breath, and Shedeur Sanders, calm as ever, standing in the middle of the storm, knowing his next move could change football forever. The Browns thought they had leverage. They thought drafting Shedeur gave them a decade of stability, maybe even a golden ticket out of the league's basement. But Baltimore and New Orleans just ripped the rug out from under them. And now Cleveland is staring into the abyss, wondering if they're about to lose not just a quarterback, but the closest thing to salvation the franchise has ever touched. The panic is almost comical if it weren't so tragic. Reports leak that the Browns are scrambling to restructure contracts, to find creative cap space, to maybe even mortgage future seasons just to match those $275 million offers. But here's the ugly truth. They can't match what Baltimore and New Orleans are selling. Money? Maybe, if they twist themselves into knots. But vision? Stability? Culture? Those are currencies the Browns don't have. And Shedeur Sanders is smart enough to know it. Baltimore's play here is genius. They're not just offering him money. They're offering him a blueprint for the future of the game. Imagine defenses lining up and seeing Lamar Jackson on one side and Shedeur Sanders on the other. One's the reigning master of mobility and chaos. The other's the rising prince of precision and swagger. It's not a gimmick, it's evolution. And the Ravens are selling Shedeur on the chance to be remembered not just as a great player, but as a pioneer. The guy who helped break football's last frontier. That's a tempting pitch. Then you've got New Orleans. And their play is even more dangerous because it's emotional. They're not talking about dual quarterback systems or schematic revolutions. They're talking about culture, soul, legacy. They're telling Shedeur, this isn't just about football. This is about becoming the heartbeat of a city that knows pain, that knows resilience, that will embrace you like family. You won't just be a player, you'll be a legend. And let's be real, that pitch hits different. Because players want to matter. They want to feel immortal. And New Orleans is dangling that immortality like a carrot. Meanwhile, Cleveland's pitch sounds like this. Stay, please. We'll figure it out. Trust us. It's desperation versus vision. Panic versus poetry. And everybody watching knows which pitch hits harder. The media circus is only making things worse. Talk shows are running split screens of Lamar and Shedeur with headlines like, Unstoppable. Others are mocking up murals of Sanders in a Saints jersey next to Drew Brees with captions like, The Heir Apparent. And Cleveland? They're being roasted daily. Memes about the factory of sadness have made a comeback. Fans are being reminded of every quarterback misstep in franchise history, from Johnny Manziel to Baker Mayfield. It's like the football gods are trolling the city all over again. But here's the twist that makes this story Shakespearean. Shedeur Sanders isn't tipping his hand. He's watching the chaos swirl around him, watching the Browns squirm, watching two powerhouses roll out the red carpet. And he's silent. Calm. Composed. Almost smug. Because for the first time in NFL history, rookie quarterback is holding not just one franchise, but the entire league hostage. And he knows it. Now, let's talk about the ripple effects. Because this isn't just about Sanders. It's about every quarterback who comes after him. If Sanders cashes in now, rookies everywhere are going to start demanding blockbuster deals before they even throw a pro touchdown. Owners are terrified. The old system, where rookies earned their payday years later, is cracking in real time. And if the league can't control it, welcome to the player empowerment era, NFL edition. The NBA saw this coming years ago. Stars dictating trades, forcing ownership hands, flipping the balance of power. And now the NFL is staring at that same future, courtesy of Shedeur Sanders. But let's not pretend this is only about numbers on a page. This is about emotion. For Cleveland fans, Sanders isn't just a quarterback, he's hope. He's a chance to rewrite decades of misery. He's the one name that made them believe, if only for a moment, that maybe, just maybe, they could finally escape the shadow of their cursed past. If he leaves, that hope dies. And hope doesn't come back easily. For Baltimore, Sanders is the missing piece to a dynasty. Pair him with Lamar, and you've got a team that terrifies the league for the next decade. For New Orleans, Sanders is resurrection. A city still aching for its post-Brees identity, desperate for a new icon. 3 different futures, all hinging on one decision. And the fans aren't waiting quietly. Cleveland fans are marching outside the stadium. Ravens fans are chanting his name at games, even though he's not theirs yet. Saints fans are already designing custom jerseys with his number. It's madness. You know what it feels like? Free agency, the NBA edition. Except this isn't LeBron or KD, it's a rookie quarterback. That's how big Shedeur's shadow has become. Here's the kicker. No matter what he chooses, he wins. If he stays in Cleveland and succeeds, he's a legend who broke a curse. If he leaves for Baltimore and helps revolutionize the game, he's a pioneer. If he goes to New Orleans and revives a city's football soul, he's immortal. This isn't a lose-lose. It's a win-win-win. And that's what makes it so dramatic. The only losers here? Cleveland, if they can't stop the bleeding. But let's not forget the NFL's role in this. Because you better believe Roger Goodell and the league office are panicking too. Tampering whispers are everywhere. Owners are grumbling about fairness, about salary cap integrity, about whether the system can handle players this powerful. The NFL thrives on control, on parity, on balance. And Shedeur Sanders is threatening to blow that balance wide open. This isn't just about one player. It's about the future of the league. So where does it go from here? If Cleveland miraculously convinces Sanders to stay, they're not just saving a quarterback. They're saving their soul. If he leaves, they don't just lose him. They lose their identity. They become the cautionary tale, the punchline, the team that fumbled away the brightest star in a generation. And if Baltimore or New Orleans lands him, they don't just get a quarterback. They get the future. That's where we're at. A crossroads moment. A saga so dramatic it feels bigger than football. A rookie quarterback with $275 million offers on the table and the power to rewrite not just his own legacy, but the entire NFL's future. So here's the question for you. Should Shedeur Sanders risk it all to stay in Cleveland, try to break the curse, and cement himself as a mythic figure? Or should he chase stability, innovation, and immortality with Baltimore or New Orleans? Because no matter what he decides, this isn't just a contract. It's a turning point in sports history. Drop your take in the comments, because trust me, we'll still be arguing about this 10 years from now. And if you want to stay locked in on every twist, every meltdown, and every culture-shaking decision like this one, hit that subscribe button. Because the Shedeur Sanders saga isn't just about football, it's about the future. And the story? Oh, it's only getting started.